Mr. Secretary. In communities across the country, especially in districts like mine in Texas, and you know where that is in North Texas, housing is often built by small family-owned builders who operate on tight margins and rely on predictable timelines to stay afloat. These small businesses are deeply rooted in their communities, but do not have an army of lawyers or compliance officers to manage complex federal processes. So every added form, review, or delay increases financing costs and uncertainty. And for small builders, even modest delays can result in increased costs that jeopardize the future of the entire project. So, Mr. Secretary, how can HUD better tailor its program so timing and compliance do not disproportionately harm small businesses?
Well, thank you, sir, and it's good to see you as always. And I'll make sure that I tell Dr. Graham that I had the opportunity to speak with you today. You know, it's the regulatory environment that is crippling our small businesses, including builders, to work with localities, to work with mayors, to work with planning and zoning, to make sure that they take inventory of their regulations has been something I have been pushing and encouraging, and traveling the state, traveling the country, and meeting with these leaders to take a look at their regulations and see how they can bring them down so that they can unleash innovative and creativity from our small business, our small builders around our country. And so I'm with you, and I agree with you on that. And it's a big push that we have to make. We can do what we can from the federal level, and we are doing that from HUD, as I said before, and taking down the affirmatively furthering fair housing rule, restoring local control. And so I think the two working together as a whole of a government is how we can unleash and help small businesses.
In smaller and rural communities, community banks and local leaders are the primary source for financing housing projects. Now, these institutions know their communities best. They work closely with local builders and play an essential role in getting housing projects off the ground. However, when federal housing programs become too complex or uncertain, that complexity can affect whether local lenders are willing to participate in a project at all. So, Mr. Secretary, could you elaborate on how reducing federal complexity regulations could make housing projects more attractive to community banks and to local lenders?
Oh, yes, sir. I think that anything that we can take that's burdensome or duplicative as it pertains to this is something that can help our local community banks. And if you have ideas, sir, things that you're working on, please bring them to us. We'll be happy to work with you and your team on that.
We're reducing a lot of regulations, and
Yes, sir.
SBA, et cetera, is doing some good things. Many of HUD's core housing projects were designed decades ago for a very different housing market than we have today. And while construction costs, financing, and building methods have changed, many federal requirements have stayed the same. Now, this is why the Housing for the 21st Century Act take necessary approach to modernizing outdated programs, cutting unnecessary red tape, and restoring flexibility for states, local governments, and housing providers. So my last question to you, Mr. Secretary, is can you explain why modernizing HUD's statutory framework is critical to increasing housing supply today?
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, when you talk about manufactured housing codes, and you talk about different codes across the agency, anytime we can modernize those and streamline those, the efficiency is better, the cost is down, which both of those things help and impact the housing affordability issue that we have going on in our country.
Well, thank you, and do say hello to Pastor Jack Graham. Appreciate it.